In this video, we'll be looking at Science Paper 1 examination for in 2020. So the first question reads, a wire has a length of 1.3 meters and a diameter of 0.4 millimeters. Which of the following instruments would be more suitable to use to measure the length and diameter? So what we're initially searching for is an instrument, a measuring instrument that can measure a length of about 1.3 meters and a diameter that can measure the length of about 0.4 millimeters. So all these instruments measured in both length and diameter are measuring instruments, except for when you look at length, a micrometer screw gauge cannot measure length of an instrument, and a vernier calipers cannot measure a length of about 1.3 meters. It would not be very precise and reach to a length of about 1.3 meters. So our best option when it comes to length is C, right? And it's the same thing for the diameter. Well, a ruler cannot be used to measure length, so it's our best option here when it comes to measuring the diameter of 0.4 millimeters. So this leaves us with our best answer as C. For our next question, that reads, the following diagram shows a measuring cylinder and a balance used to measure the density of liquid X. So you have liquid X that you're supposed to find the mass as well as the volume in order to obtain its density. So to obtain the mass and the volume of liquid X, you're supposed to look at the beam balance to find mass, and the cylinder to find the volume. Now, the volume of liquid X is easy to find because you just look at the level at which the cylinder was fully filled, and this level is about 60, right? So that leaves you with a volume of 60 cubic centimeters as your volume. What about the mass? Well, when you're measuring mass of a liquid, our mass is going to be equals to your final mass, which is going to include the mass of the liquid, which is X, minus, so your mass is going to be equals to mass of the liquid plus the object minus the mass of the empty object, right? So the empty object, and therefore your mass is going to be equals to, when you look at the beam balance, you'll find out to say, when you count these divisions, so they count from 10, 20, 30, 40. So that means that from 20 from 120 you have 120, 130, 140. So this second diagram shows you the mass on the beam balance for both the object that is filled and as well as the liquid, right? So this mass of both the object and the liquid is 140 grams minus the mass of the empty object. The mass of the empty object is gotten from the first diagram, which is 10, 20, right? So that's 20 grams, and therefore our mass is going to be equals to 140 grams minus 20 grams, which is 120 grams. So there you have it, the volume of the liquid X and the mass of liquid X. So you just have to compare these values with the options that you have. So this is going to leave you with option B as your answer.